What is up, YouTube? This is Shack Central, and welcome to my first ever YouTube video. Believe it or not, I am not joking. If you know me from anything gaming related, it's very likely from my Path of Exile Vortex guide, which is actually in all text on the game's forum. Now, at some point, hopefully when I have a little more experience with video editing, I am planning on making a video guide as a companion to that Vortex guide. However, that is not why I'm here today. I have always been a believer that in Path of Exile, you have to set your own goals if you want to play long-term and have the game stick. After playing PoE for many years, I've arrived at 3 realizations that have all hit me really hard during the current Heist League. First, I'll be honest, I just don't like to trade. I'm not saying that trading is bad. I'm not saying that people who play Trade League are lesser players or anything like that. For myself, as soon as I trade for a piece of gear, it really lessens the entire experience and kind of progression of that character for me. It's just a personal thing, and that's something for me. As much as I like the idea of hardcore, this is number 2, both the game's current performance issues and my own kind of play style and family situation kind of conflict with this game mode. I've lost characters to disconnects. I've lost characters to one of my kids falling down and me having to run out of the room and help them out. And just as a non-full-time player, I really just don't have the time luxury of the hardcore progression path. And third, I really like having big goals in PoE. Without them, I always kind of find myself in the same spot. I pretty much always play Vortex into the mid-90s. I pretty much always get my gear about 95% optimized. I kill Awakener 8 Cirrus, and then I start to lose my kind of motivation to play. I have a lot of long-term goals in mind, and combined with my draw toward the solo self-found playstyle, I've been looking for a suitable long-term goal to really sink my teeth into over the last week or so while Grinding Gear Games was working on the big patch for Heist League. And boy, oh boy, did I find it. This is the YouTube channel of Matt Lighty. A little more than a year ago, Lighty began a series of videos that he calls the All for One Challenge. His goal is both simple and incredibly immense, and that is to collect one of every unique item in Path of Exile in the SSF game mode, which means solo self-found, so no party play and no trading, and to store them in the unique item stash tab. For pure numerical reference, for people who might not know, there are now over 1,000 unique items in Path of Exile, many of which have specific acquisition ways that you have to acquire them, and you can't even just get them from random drops on the ground. To quote Lighty in his All for One intro, when I saw that, I knew what I had to do. A goal this crazy deserves to be named after its crazy creator, so rather than copying the All for One title, I'm diving deep into what I'm going to simply call the Lighty Challenge. 1 stash tab, over 1,000 uniques, 1 goal. Let's do this. I want to finish out this intro video by explaining kind of where I'm currently at in the league and a bit of my initial plan, because we're about 2.5 weeks into Heist League, which is patch 3.12. It's been a little buggy, but a new patch has come out, the big one that they're working on, and looks to be in a little bit better place. So earlier on in Heist League, I briefly started playing in SSF already before I really had kind of decided to go with the Lighty Challenge. So I made it to level 30 on the character that you can see here. Level 30, a very, very basic name. As I wanted to start off the Lighty Challenge kind of as fresh and honest as possible, I've deleted everything in the stash and everything on the character so I can start from scratch, which I will show in just a second. I did 5 trials and kind of got them out of the way. And as well, I did 4 or 5 heist contracts. So a couple of my rogues have some experience, but that's pretty much it. Here you can see really quickly as I go through, I took everything out of the stash tabs. This is obviously the important one too. I have Unique 1 and Bono, that's U2. No maps, because obviously I only got to level 30. All of these are empty. I mean, I'll just kind of sort through them as quickly as the stash tabs themselves will load. I think I have about 26 of these, so it takes just a second to get through. But that's it. So as far as the trials and the early heist contracts go, I think they kind of cancel each other out, because not having to do the first few lab trials will save me some time, but the early heist contracts give me some valuable stuff. In particular, the thing that I'm going to miss is what I got out of the unique contract that you get for heist at level 2, which kind of plays into one of my late game strategies, but I'll explain that more in a future video. Not only that, but as you can see, if I actually go all the way to SSF in standard, where I have a little level 2 waiting for you, I cleared out my standard SSF thing as well. So when the league ends, I'll be able to just transfer in. We can play while leagues are down. I have none owned there. So again, cleared out the stash tab in both leagues. So we are truly starting this at the very beginning with no prior items, no prior uniques, anything like that. So we'll be kicking off the Lighty challenge with a fresh start and wide eyes. I have some general strategy ideas. I will go over them as they become relevant in future videos, but that's all I have for this one as my introduction to the Lighty challenge. I am Shack Central, and I will see you guys in episode 1.